Couldn't stand in line, so I became a leader. Turn these non-believers into overachievers. They were sleeping on the boy like I'm only a dreamer. I was high off life, mixed with a little reefer. When you don't know the game, I promise they'll try to cheat you.
All right, y'all. What up?
We recording?
Yes.
Hello, Melanites. My name is GT.
I'm Kymmy Cocoa.
And we are your hosts
for Innovative Black Stations, Connecting the Dots.
All right, so today we're going to put you on game about entrepreneurship in hip-hop.
And there's a lot of people that get into the music business just for the music, but then they realize that they are a marketing genius and they start pushing their products. So, you know, I'm a big Doug Down fan. So, Buckshot has some pen. I saw him on Instagram and he has some little pen, I think it's a weed, like put weed pen, in it. Yeah. But it's not a pen. I don't know what it is. We need to find Buckshot and ask him more about it. I saw him with it. But he's got a marketing company. And he helps people develop themselves as talent. Mm-hmm. And officialbuckshot.com, he has that. Del the Funky Homo Sapien. I never knew this, but you guys don't know who that is. We already had this discussion before the show. But he was a part of a group called Souls of Mischief. And they're from Cali.
I don't know about Souls of Mischief. You just talked about this like 3 weeks ago.
Okay, well, I
don't know them by name.
He made their logo. And he made like $1.6 million just off of, selling the merch with that picture on it, the hieroglyphics
just like the Wu-Tang
symbol.
Logo.
I'm not sure how that works. I need to find out because, for example, I know Ghostface has Woo Goo, which is like Shatter or whatever. Mm-hmm. He's starting to market some Ghostface T-shirts and stuff, but I don't know who owns specifically the Wu-Tang brand. We need to look more into that and find out.
They need to make a Wu
stop. They used to have the Wu-Tang store in Staten Island back in my day. That was like the Wu-Tang store and the Naughty by Nature Naughty Gear store were a few of the first people that we saw in New York as starting to sell their own stuff. So we wore that stuff heavy.
Tats and all in that bitch too.
No, they only sold clothes.
With Tretch his extra hood.
That was the beginning. Before I love Tretch.
But listen,
and even like Def Rugs, like our rug right here that we got from our guest. I'm taking this home, y'all. Y'all might not see this on every episode because I'm taking this rug home.
You might have to fight Jay Black about that one. But listen, Kansas City rapper Tech 9, 1 year made $7.5 million. Tech 9 is an independent underground legend. Tech 9 has his own printing shop. He, prints his own albums. He does his own distribution. And if you know anything about record sales, selling 300,000 records underground is like going double platinum mainstream if you're doing it independent. And a lot of people don't understand the meaning behind entrepreneurship, not just in music but just in general. I just found out this morning Chris Brown owns 14 Burger Kings in Virginia.
Oh wow, well that's good. And he has his own clothing line too, Black Pyramid.
It's a few of them out there. Like we were talking about, T.I. still have his Cool. I remember once upon a time Nelly had apple bottoms.
Oh yeah. They had Woo Wear, Naughty Gear, Rockaware, Rough Riders had clothes, Outkast had clothes. Y'all remember those Outkast clothes?
I don't remember the name of it.
Master P had clothes.
Yeah, Master P had his clothes, and then of course
that was it was oversaturated at that time. At that time is when the term urban gear first started.
Fat Farm, Baby Fat,
Fat Farm, Baby Fat,
Fubu,
Rockaware.
South Pole, Echo, like it was a whole bunch of different.
They also have Corrupt is selling moon rocks. My homeboy L Sensei from the Artifacts, he sells T-shirts for the Artifacts T-shirts, and they have hats and they have a whole bunch of other stuff. So people have really taken it upon themselves to sell their own stuff.
That's a good business to get into, selling shirts. Anybody can sell shirts as long as you got a dope ass logo on it. To be honest with you.
Yeah, the Eric Sermon, they're about to start selling hats, like grown up men hats. I don't. Young men wear them too. I don't know why I say grown up men hat, but when you say hat, you probably think of like this
snapback. But
they're the hats that with the button right here. They have a whole bunch of stuff that they're about to start selling too. I mean, once we realize as a culture that everybody kind of just does what we do, why not make money off of it? We need our own.
So listen, y'all. She lived in Houston, right? she does not understand how rich Houston is with their entrepreneurship.
Yeah, no,
mostly
I get it.
All the artists in Houston are independent. When Lil Flip signed his deal, I don't think it was Jive, but when he brought out Underground Legend and You Gotta Feel Me, he was getting $15 a CD. I'm gonna talk about the royalties and all that stuff and how it worked later on in the show. But that's a lot of money for somebody mainstream to get.
J Black, didn't
album.
you say somebody sold their CD for $100 at one time?
Nipsey Hussle.
Oh, Nipsey Hussle.
$100 campaign.
And Jay-Z bought 1,000 of them.
That was nice. I mean, just like that dude with the sneakers now, the basketball player. I don't mention his name because he disrespected Nas.
Ball.
So, he has sneakers that people are buying and
$500 fucking dollars. Ain't no fucking way. I barely buy.
He hasn't even played one
$200
game yet, though, has he?
The season hasn't started. Just preseason and summer league. And then, I mean, of course, you got Boosie Juice. You got Lucky Nights by Lil Flip. And
Boosie,
then E40.
I'm sorry?
Slurricane.
Boosie
Juice.
Boosie Juice?
It's a vodka. Strawberry kiwi vodka.
Oh, and Mr. Cheeks from the Lost Boys, he has vodka too. I mean, he's promoting it. I'm not sure who owns what, but just like with Sadat with the wine, and then with the vodka, it's called Vodkila that Mr. Cheeks has. Stickman from Dead Prez, I think he lives in Atlanta. He's got a whole health campaign going on. I think they do like yoga and everything.
Another one. People don't, because he don't do music anymore, but remember Murphy Lee from the St. Lunatics? He actually opened up like a organic restaurant in St. Louis, and it actually has been doing pretty well. But a lot of people don't.
Juices for Life. We didn't mention Juices for Life in the Bronx.
That too.
Styles P and them, they have their Juices for Life, and I think Angela Yee and them invested in that too.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
It's a lot of entrepreneurship going on in hip hop.
Yeah, I mean, you might as well use the platform that you have and promote something, especially if you're passionate about it, like health and wellness. Now everybody's on that kick.
I'm gonna need Jay-Z to open up a car dealership or something for all these young rappers or something, because
Jay-Z
these cars and they get took, and somebody need to open up a car dealership too. But we'll talk about that another day. Kim, we're gonna go ahead and get into facts and opinions. This is about fashion and hip hop, so let's get into it.
Fashion and hip hop. So going back more toward the entrepreneurship and the culture itself. Hip hop was born in New York. Everybody knows that. So the culture and the fashion in New York has so much to do with what was going on, because it started off in the Bronx, you know. So what was going on was there was a lot of gang activity going on in the Bronx, and they started burning the Bronx down. And so
I heard about that.
A lot of the fashion came from like the things that the gangs were wearing. And then once they started having parties in the park or whatever, it was more like toward the B-boy style.
Right.
So once the B-boy style caught on, it just was off and running from there. Like one of the biggest influence on fashion in hip hop, I mean, you could go anywhere. If you go to Party City and you want to do an old school hip hop for Halloween, guess what you're gonna get? Run DMC. Run DMC started the whole Adidas thing with the fat laces and all that, and they had the song My Adidas, and that was like kind of what kicked off the sneaker culture in hip hop.
Right.
But did you know they did that just because they loved the shoe? They wasn't out here like how they do now, like, oh yo, I got this, I got that. They were just saying like, those are what we wear. This is what we. That's just how we dressed in New York.
How did we get from wearing trash suits to wearing baggy clothes to now we're wearing feminine clothes? These rappers.
That's a good question. You know? I really think that now it's more like freedom of expression, because everything is global. You guys have the internet. We didn't have that.
But these guys are wearing like, I mean, I understand like Marilyn Manson and all them, like Uzi Vert, you know, like wearing makeup.
They're emulating rock stars.
Maxi dress. Like Young Jock was just wearing a maxi dress. Like,
why does everybody keep saying
doing their hair? Like, at what point did we get to that? Like, where did we lose ourselves to the point where we like, okay,
it's freedom of expression. It's freedom of expression.
Dress like women?
I mean,
so we out here Pancake 22 and this shit.
I mean, back in our day, I can't explain what y'all are doing. None of it makes sense to me. So I can't answer that question. But back in our day, like, we would express ourselves through our clothes. You know how everybody started wearing like army stuff? Because it was
No Limit Soldiers, Unbodied.
Okay.
Things of that. I mean, I'm just saying, like, Master P was doing the whole army thing.
Okay.
And then, you know,
we're talking a little bit before him. I'm still in New York and you're in New Orleans. I we not gonna give Master P that much credit for creating that. In New York, everybody was wearing it because it was functional and it was warm.
Right.
In New York, you had to be warm. You had to keep your drugs in your pocket, your gun in your pocket, and whatever else you needed to be outside all day and all night, because they used to break day. That's what we used to say, because you've been out in the street all night. I think y'all call it trapping now.
But in the South, you know, like with the Reeboks, you know, the lip, the way they made the lip, we used to put the dope under the lip and the weed under the lip of the Reeboks. So I mean, and they didn't make the clothes like that. Right. It's just that's. But then they had ways to do it. And then what they used to start doing then is they started making pockets and stuff like that. So that's what happened, right? Yeah.
So Run DMC, going back to them, when they created, I think they really kicked off the whole sneaker culture and like the whole look, because that's what they were doing in New York. Right. So the Adidas company was like, "Yo, we seeing our sales go up. What the hell is going on?" So one of the interns said, "Oh, you know, it's this group, Run DMC, blah, blah, blah." They went to a show and they was like, "Yo, we got to start giving these dudes some money." All that stuff, my Moschino hoe, my Versace hot tee, none of them was getting paid for none of that back then. They were just doing it because black people, you know what we do? We think that to have like their stuff, that means we made it. And that's why all of those people, whenever they get money, they run to the store. Not just hip hop, but everybody.
But not even that. But like even when Migos came out with the whole Versace thing, like I don't even think people knew who Versace was. They didn't know that he was a gay dude. Now it's a lot of men out here wearing flip flops with a fucking ring on their fucking big toe.
Do y'all hear this?
They don't understand that.
Who started Versace?
No, they didn't start it. I'm just saying.
No, I mean like started making it popular wearing it.
The Migos, when they was like in hip hop, I'm saying in hip hop when they came out with the song Versace.
Did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear that?
You understand what I'm saying?
No. Who started Versace? Who started wearing Versace?
I'm not saying that.
And you remember when Tupac said, "And now you wear Versace, you copy my style." Everybody been trying to.
She missing the point. She missing the point of what I'm saying.
What you say, Rainey?
What I'm saying is,
you said Tupac and then the whole.
Rainey, get in the camera. Get in the camera and talk, Rainey.
No,
y'all remember Rainey? What's up, Rainey?
Thank you, Bo. Biggie started the whole. The Bad Boy era started the whole thing with.
Okay, I hear what you're saying with the Versace, but it's like there was a gap in between that. So like, wasn't nobody wearing it or talking about it no more. And then Migos came back.
They've
with
always
the
been wearing it and talking about it.
Regular people. These new kids, we weren't wearing Versace before that song came out.
Exactly.
Let me tell you what we did. Our era. Right. We ushered in fashion. We ushered in fashion in hip hop. Don't get it twisted. Lil' Kim was the first female rapper. Nicki Minaj, the first female rapper to walk the runway. Everything that they've done is being copied. Let's just keep it real.
Nothing original no more. I give you that.
Right. So we're just gonna have to make sure that we give props where props are due.
But like what he was saying though, it's been at least a 10 to 15 year gap, and then they came out with Versace, and now you got all these young kids in the new generation of hip hop wearing Versace. We wasn't saying who started it, we're saying who brought it back up as far as this generation is concerned, and the feminization of fashion in hip hop.
Well, that's something that you guys are gonna have to figure out, because it's not really.
Big wasn't finna wear no flip flop with no fucking ring on his big toe.
This is what happened. I mean, the world became on the same level almost. Like the internet introduced you to how Europeans dressed.
Right.
See, we made them change that. Mm-hmm. We made them say, okay, I understand that Europeans, you guys are the designers, but this is how we dress. So now you need to switch your shit up and make it so that we can fit it, make it so that it's functional for the urban daily lifestyle, and you need to do what you need to do. Just like how all of those people started wearing Gucci this and Gucci that, it's because we started that. Just like Dapper Dan. Now all of a sudden he's getting to work for Gucci in real life. I mean, but you know what? Back in the day, if you couldn't afford it,
you went to Dapper Dan.
You went to Dapper Dan and he made it for you. But then Dapper Dan created his own market. Dapper Dan made $1,000 pants. He started charging a whole lot of money for his stuff.
Now,
that created that whole thing.
Brandon, let me ask you a question. You because you grew up in Atlanta, right. So you know the ins and outs of it, and now Atlanta basically being new centerfold as far as like media and fashion and everything goes. How do you feel about Atlanta from, let's just say, from like 1992 to Atlanta now as far as hip hop and fashion?
I'm gonna let Rainey answer that, but I need y'all to keep in mind,
because I mean he's from Atlanta, so I want to know his opinion as far as the fashion.
I'm not from
hip-hop.
Atlanta, but my family is from Atlanta, so my whole life I've been coming to Atlanta, and all of the polo and all of that got started in New York. When Yo MTV Raps and all that stuff came out and everybody saw what we were doing, that's what everybody started doing.
But that's not what we're talking about. We're just asking Rainey a question.
That better be Rainey's answer.
Rainey, go ahead and answer your question.
That's all I'm saying is that better be Rainey's answer. Go ahead, Rainey.
It's unfortunately not my answer, but yeah, I think Atlanta's just dope because it's like, okay, y'all may start out. I'm not gonna say whether or not y'all started something or not, but I am gonna say like, people watch what we do out here in Atlanta.
Why you not gonna say we started it?
I can't vouch for that. You know, I don't know.
can because I was there.
See,
I'm telling you.
I can't though. But it's like
This is the disconnect right here.
And if we talking 92, we weren't even rocking polos then. It's like, yo, everybody was with the baggy clothes still. Like,
right,
so only you had the polos and shit. Like we got right.
And,
thank you. Right. The baggy stuff, and then by the time I hit middle school, it was like it was the giant white T-shirts and everything else like that.
First of all, Atlanta, I love you, and thank you for welcoming me to your city. It's so black and so cultural, but you didn't start that. You didn't start anything, really.
That's not
disrespect.
That's not what. The South, we got our own style.
Look, you say rapper duck. I'm about to argue with you.
Listen, we can go to the next segment.
Go ahead and say what you gotta say, and then we'll go to the next segment. Go ahead and put the camera on him, and then we go to the next segment.
I'm gonna have it, bro. Cause like to say. Like that, man, nah.
I'm not gonna let you have it.
Nah, bro.
I'm not gonna let you have it. And the reason why I'm not gonna let you have it, y'all are the founding fathers of hip hop. I'll give y'all that. Y'all have y'all own, sense of fashion as far as like Timberlands and shit of that nature. But I mean, like we swag shit the fuck out.
Period.
We got y'all people.
Migos is a prime example.
We swag shit the fuck out down. So I can't vouch for you.
Notice how many New York niggas moved down here too. That's all I'm saying. Like New York, they great. Stay out there.
Let me tell you why people moved here, and it wasn't because of anything besides the fact that it costs too much.
But y'all stay though.
The climate is nice, and we don't have to wear.
And y'all love our women.
Atlanta's dope.
I don't like women, but I can say the women in the South are more.
And we're nicer. It's a lot of reasons why. We're good.
You gotta set yourself up for that one, Thank you, Rainey. I appreciate it, man. All right, so now we're gonna get into Cocoa with Kymmy. So Kymmy, go ahead and tell us what's steaming,
bruh.
You probably steaming after that last segment.
No, I'm good. I'm good. No, I mean I'm half and half. My daddy is from Georgia, born and raised in Wilkes County, and my whole summer, because people moved up north and they just got. I guess they just said, fuck it. Like, you know what I mean? We out here, we're not going to do anything that our parents did. So if you got in trouble back in the day, if you lived in New York, guess what your parents sent you?
They sent you to the South.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. So anyway, Cocoa with Kymmy. What's up with your boy, y'all? What's up with your president? What's going on? He went on Twitter and he said, well, actually, no, he did. He was in Alabama, Huntsville, Alabama. And he had a rally. Notice where those rallies are. I want everybody to start noticing where the rallies are. Huntsville, Alabama. They're always in like some podunk city in the South, right? All of them. Then when he goes there, he says, those sons of bitches, kick them up.
And then Kaepernick mom coming and said, well, if they sons of bitches, then I must be
I'm a proud bitch.
I'm a proud bitch, yeah.
Then he said he didn't invite Steph Curry to the White House. When I remember back in June, they said that they had no desire whatsoever to go there or whatever.
Exactly.
Listen, y'all, we got to do something. What are we going to do? Because this is ridiculous. He is mad disrespectful. I know that they're in the process of
they want to impeach him, but it's just at the end of the day, money talks. Our country was built on being crooked and thievery and shit like that. So I mean, it's like at the end of the day, you get what you pay for in a sense. And I mean, y'all paid a pretty high price to get a pretty high asshole, and that's basically what he is. He really is a piece of shit.
He really is. So I think that He's being mad disrespectful. Then he's gonna say that people aren't watching football because of the protests. Really? They're not watching football because they don't want to see a protest. When they just started singing the national anthem at the games after they started realizing that military recruitment was down. So they're trying to play on you, get mad because they not falling for it. Like, it's too much. It's too much. Black people, white supremacy can all be stopped if we promote black supremacy.
But at the same time, it goes back to what I was saying too. You're right about the black supremacy, but where do we get to a point where we say fuck it and we start our own fucking leagues?
You know what?
We start our own
We got to
shit.
go back further than that. We got to start from the beginning, and we have to get our self-esteem back as a people. You have to be so proud to be black, and you have to love each other and support each other.
And it's not that we don't, Kim. It's not that we don't. You got to understand, every time we create something, they take it. They take it.
You don't let them take it. And that's what's going on with hip-hop, and that's what we're not going to do. We're not going to do that.
Well, it goes back to what we said on a few episodes ago. If you from the hood and you done invented something and you not getting what you feel you deserve for it, and then you got motherfucking Paul Sausagefield coming with you for $1 million fucking dollars, you gonna take the $1 million to provide for your family. So that's where the support from all of us have to come in.
Black people, stop it. Stop it right now. Support each other and love each other. All those clothing lines that we were naming earlier, you know why they fell? Number one, because we stopped buying it. Number two, we make their stuff like something to be aspired to. Even the people that make the shit. I mean, you might see 50 Cent with G-Unit clothes, but when you see 50 Cent at an event, he got on Versace and Louis Vuitton and Gucci too. But all of them do that. It's like if you want Sean John, and that's why I like how Puffy does his marketing, because he will wear his own shit. He'll have his own shit out there, like, yo, this is what you need to be doing.
But that's what they used to do. That's what they used to do, and then that's when them endorsement deals came in.
Until black people get to the point where they don't feel like they're not anybody until they have a white person's name on their bag or on their shoes or whatever, that speaks to us as a people and as a culture. We got to rise up mentally and make sure that we get to the point where we hold ourselves in the highest regard and turn the whole shit around, because that's going to keep the money in our community. I can't say this enough. It all starts with our mentality and us thinking of ourselves as something to be aspired to.
Right.
So, I mean, that's what I think we need to do. That is exactly what I think we need to do. All of this stuff can all be nipped in the bud as soon as we get to the point where we just put our feet down and say, I just can't let that go. I can't say that.
And that kind of ties into my 2 cents. My 2 cents, it's not gonna be long today. I just want to kind of touch on royalties a little bit, because I don't think a lot of people understand how royalties work. So let's just say, for instance, like, you're an artist. You just brought out a new album. You sell your album for $12, right? That's with the label and everything. What you get from your royalties is what you negotiate at the table. So if you negotiating, okay, I'm gonna get 10% off my albums, y'all gonna publish my album, y'all gonna distribute my album, y'all gonna produce it, mix, master it, all of that basically. You only getting $1.20 per CD. You understand what I'm saying? So that's why it's important for you, like, as far as like royalties, to know the business, and then not only to know the business, but be an entrepreneur. Because now in today's society of hip hop, you have to do more than just music. You have to, even like that. That's even if you just selling cookies, it don't matter. T-shirts.
But look at
you have to brand yourself.
If for nothing else, I want the younger people to understand that we didn't have it as easy. Like, you guys could just turn on your phone and reach hundreds and thousands of people. We had to do work. We had to do footwork. So if for nothing else, we deserve respect for that. Like,
I remember in the 90s when FUBU was just coming out, when they were selling like FUBU book bags and FUBU shirts out the trunk of their car.
FUBU was the shit.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we got to get back to that, like that chitlin circuit of entrepreneurship. Like, pulling shit out the trunk of our car and selling it. Like, we got to get back to that. But like we said before, it takes all of us to support each other and not give our money to Paul Sausagefield, as I would say. But I mean, that's all I really had to touch on with that.
Culture, y'all, and shame on anybody that lets it go. Shame on anybody that lets it go. This hip hop culture is what we have and what we created. we sit back and we talk about how the white people, whoever took over and won't give us credit for like, you know, rock and roll and all that stuff. We cannot sit by and say, watch it happen ourselves when we still have the power to turn this whole thing around.
Right.
Don't let them do this anymore. Stop it. Stop it right now and support. Support.
I can definitely say that. Listen, y'all, make sure y'all check out DJ Samoa's Top 5 Countdown, as well as Inside the Industry with my man Jay Black, and shout out to Live Hip Hop Daily.
Shout out to Live Hip Hop Daily. Shout out to everybody for watching. Thank you for your support. We're going to keep this going. Follow me on Twitter at Kymmy Cocoa.
I thought you was Harriet Tubman.
Well, it is Harriet Tubman. But it's
I
at
just like
Kymmy
saying
Cocoa.
that.
I don't know how I don't know.
I just like
but
saying that.
It's Kymmy Cocoa and it's Chocolate Girl Wonder, because like everything you do is hip hop, right? Like my name from my Instagram name is Chocolate Girl Wonder. That's a shout out to Pete Rock. That's a shout out to Wu-Tang from the Ice Cream song Black Chocolate Girl Wonder, and just everything we do in our day and age is a reflection of how we grew up from New York. So, and you too. And see, these are from New York. These are gazelles.
Yeah, basically.
See what I'm saying?
They fake gazelles, but
still,
nobody don't know that.
That's our shit.
This is your boy GT.
And Kymmy Cocoa. Thank you guys for watching. Night. Check us out next episode.
Peace.
So what would you, GT?
Hey, you been seeing this shit on Facebook where the dude's been on there to my son?
Who has a?
I keep your baby daddy for the pussy.
Oh yeah, that's a real song. That's a real song. But do you know?
Hey, I was gonna make my.
Oh, okay.
I was gonna make my own. Yeah.
What do you mean they're doing a female one too? That's a real song and females made it. I've seen them perform it live when I was in New Orleans.
Yeah.
Oh, you got to see them perform it live. When we get off, I'm gonna show you.
I want to make my own version.
That's all he talk about, bruh. Didn't I tell you that?
I ride the martyr for the pussy.
I'm gonna fuck him up.